In this section, we're going to go over some more variable operators, and specifically it's going to be the logical operations. And there's only 3 logical operators in PineScript. We have the not, which is the negation, we have the and, which is the logical conjunction, and the or, which is a disjunction. So what these do is basically the not just makes it the opposite. The and, if you have an and, both of the operands on each side of the and need to be true for the output to be true. And the or, it can be either one, so either or can be true. If they're both false, the output would be false. I'll show you in some examples down here. You can use these logical operations with numbers, with booleans, with NA, and with series. So here's some examples right here, and here is a not logical operation. So this not true basically is going to be false, and it returns a constant bool here. And then the next one, not false, it's going to be true. It's going to be the opposite. If you put false not, that's not going to work. The negation needs to be in front of your operand. If I save this and I get an error, syntax error at input not. So it's not telling me exactly why it's not working, but you know why. So it needs to be in front of it. Can have something like down here, I actually have an example. So not false or not false. So you can use multiple negations in your statements. Before we get into that, let's keep moving down. Here we're going to do the and conjunction. So true and true, the output's going to be true because both of these operands are true. And for this one, it's going to be false because we have this boolean that's false. All it's doing is just imagine, like, you got 2 inputs and then 1 output. So for the and, this input needs to be true, this input needs to be true, the output will be true in the end. If either one's false, the output will be false. So here we see that this and bool 2 identifier will end up being constant bool is false. Here, false and false, it's going to be false, not even a chance. False and not false, now we're using the negation and the conjunction. So it's going to really be false and true. Still going to be false because we have the and conjunction here. And then this one, not false, so this will actually be true and not false. So it's going to end up being true and true, so this will be true. True or true. So with the or, as long as one is true, then the output will be true. So the same thing as the and, but it's either or. So here, true or true, it's going to be true. True or false, still going to be true because we have one true in here. False or false, it's going to end up being false. False or not false, it's going to be false or true because it's just negating the false, just reversing it. So it's going to be true, not false, which ends up being true, or not false, true or true, it's going to be true. So that's pretty straightforward with the booleans. You can do the same thing with numbers, and numbers are always true, even if they're negative numbers. So here you can do not 2, or any integer or float, any number you can think of. So this, since numbers are always true, it's just saying not true, which is false. So it's going to return a constant bool, and it returns a boolean, not another number. Just remember that. So when you're using these negations, these logical operations, it's always going to return some boolean, either a constant bool or some series bool. So here, 2 and 2, this is an integer and a float, it's just going to return true because both of these numbers are by default just true when you're comparing them with a conjunction, with an operator, logical operator. True or true, doesn't matter, still true. Negative numbers actually are true. So you would think that 0 might be false. In some programming languages it is. And a negative number might be false. No. In PineScript, negative numbers or 0 end up being true. So here we have true and true, so it's still true. The only thing is the NA is actually false. So here I put not NA, which is going to be not false, and it ends up being true. And I'm going to leave this script attached so you can see it and you can view it and you can look at these things and you can actually look at the output and see if this is correct. But I put the comments next to it so you don't have to do that. But if you want to verify, you'll be able to do that. And for series, same thing, not close. Sometimes in the series there are NA variables. So at some point in the series, maybe like at the first one right in the beginning, close might not be available. So this could be true at some point, but this will mostly be false because the close is always going to be a true because it's a number. It's a series float, but it's always going to be true. So in the end, it's going to be a series bool. That's the difference. It's not going to return a constant boolean. It's going to return a series of true false. And I put true false here because there might be an NA in here at some point. In most cases it won't be, but it's possible. So either or, true or false. Same thing here, close and open. It's mostly all the time it's going to be true and true and true. So the output will always be a series true. But in the minor case that one of these has an NA variable, or both, it could end up being false. Same thing here with the or, and you're getting the same thing, same return. You can even compare different, you can compare series and booleans. You can compare series and just straight integers or floats. This negation works between anything, really, not colors and others. So what I have here, series and numbers and booleans. So close and true. The result is not going to be a constant bool. It's going to cast into a series because this has precedence over this. So series, true or false. And it might end up being false, like I said, if there's an NA here, but this will always be true. And this. So you can do all these different ways of comparing. And that's pretty much it with the logical operators as an overview. We're gonna use these in some examples in the future, but you guys need to be aware of these, and you can use these when you're making comparisons to have some kind of logic in your script.